Ledbetter lessons.
Okay, so real programmers usually always start out with a Hello World project. So that's what we're going to do in this tutorial. But before we do that, we're going to get familiar with the Scratch interface so we know what everything does here. So we'll close out the tutorial and we'll start with this little area here on the left. Now you see here this area that has all these little blocks. These are your coding blocks. So you can drag these out into the scripting area, which is this area here, and you can start putting together different blocks to create your program. And if you scroll all the way down, you can see that there's tons of different blocks, different colors. Now these different color blocks, they correspond to the different categories over here on the side. So you can scroll through that and have a look at those. We're going to go through all the different blocks and categories in detail, but just know that that's there, and these are your blocks that you drag out to make them work. Now at the bottom, there's also this here button that I just clicked, which will do some add-ons. So there's a few different extensions that we can add to our projects, which we will be using in future projects, but right now you don't have to worry about it. Just know that it's there. Over here, this is what is called the stage area. So this is where your game actually runs. Now, down here in the bottom, you'll see there's kind of a little box area, and this is where all of your sprites go. So a sprite is just basically a game object. We'll have code attached to it or other things, and it has a picture. So that's basically what a sprite is. You don't have to worry about it. Now here in this little top part, it shows us all the kind of attributes that we can adjust for that sprite. So right now we see that our cat is named Sprite1. We can actually go in here and change his name to cat, and it changes his stuff there. We'll go into detail about all of these at another time as well. But yeah, just know that these different attributes are here and we can mess with those. If you want to add another sprite game object to our game, we can do that with this choose a sprite. You have a few different options here. You can actually upload a sprite from your computer. You can do a random sprite from the ones that are built into Scratch. You can paint your own from scratch, no pun intended, and you can choose a sprite. So right now we'll just choose a sprite, and you can see all the different ones that we can choose from. So let's get Casey Dance. We'll throw her in there, and you can drag around your sprites in your game view here, your stage, and you can see what yeah, as you drag them around, you'll see that they're X and Y. We'll go into coordinates later. Okay, then the other box over here, you'll see it says stage, and we have one backdrop right now, which is white. But again, you can upload a backdrop, paint, or choose one here that's built into Scratch. So we'll just go with this, let's go to beach. The beach Malibu sounds great. So when we select that, you can see that the backdrop there changes. Okay, now with that, if you come up here to the left, you'll see that we have the code, which is all of our coding blocks, but we also have costumes. So when we click costumes, it shows us the costumes for the selected sprite. Now a costume is basically just an image, so a different image. So we can do, as we change these different costumes or images, we can create animations or things like that. Now in here you can hand draw. So say you wanted to add some few sprigs of hair coming out of his head, you can do that, and you can draw your own sprites and adjust them so you have an animation. Now down here at the bottom, we can also add more costumes. We can take a picture from our camera, we can upload, again surprise, paint one from scratch, or choose one that's built in. Now with the cat, there's some other ones here, some other images, so we'll just pick the cat flying A, and then you see that he's been added into our project. So we can do that. We can just keep on adding in different ones, and again, all the different attributes are up here. We can rename it or whatever. Okay, so this is attached to our cat. So if we went to Casey, we'll see that she has some different sprites that are attached to her, or some, I keep calling them sprites, but these are images, and these are your sprites over here. The whole game entity or game object. Okay, now built into our our sprite, he also has sounds that are attached to him. So here we see the cat has the meow sound attached, and again, you can add more sounds. You can record it from your microphone, you can upload, pick a random, or you can pick some of the ones that are built into Scratch here. So yeah, so if we added, say, chatter, it would add in chatter and we could play that as we wanted. And then we also see that Casey has different sounds that are attached to her sprite. Okay, so those are sounds, costumes, code. I will probably get into these in more detail as we go through the tutorials. Here is the start flag. This is usually what starts your game, which we'll go into later, and then we can stop it from running. Here, if we want to see basically what our end user will see, we can go to the full screen. Now in here, you can't drag around the sprites. So this is basically what the end user of your game will see. He'll be able to play your game, he'll be able to hit start here, start playing your game, stop. But in here, it's an editor, so you can actually edit things, put them where you want them, and kind of design your game that way. Okay, so now up here, you can pick your language. With file, you can load or save to your computer. Later on, I'll show you whenever I sign into my account, you'll have some different options here. You'll also have turbo mode, which we'll go into later on in some future tutorials. If you want to see the tutorials from the Scratch development team, that's up here. That was that green box, kind of give you an intro into that. And that should be pretty much it for now for the interface. You should kind of understand everything. So we have the hello world that we needed to do. So to do that, we're going to click on our cat. We're going to go to looks. So looks is things that we see on the screen, basically. You can think of that. And we want our cat to say hello world. So we can actually change this text here to hello world. Now the nice thing with the blocks is that you don't have to actually have it in a full code block, like starting with an event, which we'll go into later, but you can just click this box and boom, it runs the block. So you see, the cat said hello world for 2 seconds. And then if you go into Casey, you can make Casey say hello for 2 seconds whenever you click this block. So you can do that with different blocks. You can go around and test them out. In the next tutorial, we're going to start learning blocks, but we're going to start learning blocks by creating our first game. So our first game is going to be Pong, and you are going to learn a ton in those tutorials. So see you then. Bye.